Have you ever wondered why so many people, once they cross the age of 80, pass away from only a handful of causes? At this stage of life, a few major health conditions are responsible for almost everything. Some older adults stay surprisingly active, sharp, and independent well into their 80s, while others lose their strength and confidence very quickly. The difference often comes down to hidden but powerful factors that decide who continues to thrive and who becomes more vulnerable. In today's video, we are going to explore the 8 most common causes of death after 80. Together, these account for nearly 99% of what takes lives at this age. These are not guesses or myths, but well-documented medical realities observed in seniors all over the world. Stay with me until the end, because some of these causes may surprise you, and you might even realize that certain everyday habits in your own life carry far more weight than you ever imagined. Let's begin. Number 1, cardiovascular disease. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death after 80. And it's not hard to see why. With age, the heart muscle stiffens, blood vessels lose flexibility, and plaque builds up inside the arteries. All of this raises the risk of heart attacks, heart failure, and dangerous rhythm problems that can strike without warning. Picture 2 men, both 82 years old. George has kept up with daily walks, follows his doctor's advice, and eats in a way that protects his heart. He still climbs stairs with ease and rarely gets winded doing chores. William, on the other hand, ignores his medications, skips checkups, and struggles with chest discomfort even from light activity. George's consistency keeps his heart strong, while William's neglect leaves him exposed to life-threatening risks. The science is clear: when arteries are narrowed, the heart must pump harder, which weakens it over time. This increases the chance of heart attacks, strokes, or heart failure. The good news is, even after 80, you can still protect your heart. Small daily choices like short walks, eating more fruits and vegetables, taking prescribed medicines regularly, and never skipping doctor visits can add years of vitality to your life. Remember, your heart is more than a pump. It is the center of your strength and resilience. Treat it with care, and it will carry you further than you think. Number 2, sepsis from infections. Another major cause of death in people over 80 is sepsis, a severe, life-threatening reaction to infection that spreads through the bloodstream. At this age, the immune system is weaker. This means even small infections, which once seemed harmless, can quickly spiral into something deadly. Take the example of Arthur and Leonard, both 84 years old. Arthur pays attention to his health, stays hydrated, keeps his skin clean, and doesn't ignore early symptoms. When he developed a urinary tract infection, it was treated early and resolved without complication. Leonard, however, overlooks basic hygiene, ignores small sores, and fails to recognize the signs of infection. One day, he suddenly becomes feverish and confused. By the time help arrives, the infection has already overwhelmed his system. This is how sepsis takes hold, fast and silently. Common sources include urinary tract infections, pneumonia, and skin sores, especially for those who spend long hours in bed or sitting down. What starts small can quickly trigger widespread inflammation, organ failure, and death if not caught in time. Once sepsis develops, even the strongest hospital treatment may not always be able to reverse the damage. But here's the hopeful part: many steps can be taken to reduce the risk in the first place. Staying well hydrated helps flush bacteria from the urinary tract. Good skin care and pressure relief, such as changing position regularly and using cushions, protect against bed sores. Oral hygiene lowers harmful bacteria that can travel into the lungs. And most importantly, treating small infections quickly, with a doctor's guidance, prevents them from spreading. Ask yourself, do you or someone you care for often ignore frequent urination, burning pain, or unexplained fevers? Have you noticed red or tender spots on the skin that take too long to heal? These may not seem urgent, but they are clear warnings that must never be brushed aside. Sepsis is dangerous because it moves silently and swiftly, but awareness is the strongest defense. By staying alert to the early signs of infection and acting without delay, you can shield yourself from one of the most devastating risks of advanced age. Even after 80, attentiveness to your body can mean the difference between a health crisis and continued independence. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you don't miss out on future videos. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, cancer. Cancer remains one of the most common causes of death after 80, and it often develops silently over many years. As the body ages, cells accumulate changes. By the time someone reaches their 80s, the chances of those changes becoming harmful rise sharply. Take Charles and Edward, both 81 years old. Charles stays up to date with screenings, avoids tobacco, and pays attention when something feels different in his body. When he noticed unusual fatigue and a change in his bowel habits, he went to the doctor, and the problem was caught early. Edward, however, always dismissed checkups, thinking that losing weight or feeling tired was just part of getting old. Months later, when he finally sought help, the cancer had already spread, leaving him with fewer treatment options. The science is straightforward. As cells age, DNA errors become more common, and the immune system grows less efficient at stopping them. That's why cancers of the lung, colon, breast, prostate, and even blood cancers become more frequent in later years. The early signs, unexpected weight loss, unusual bleeding, persistent coughs, or sudden changes in energy, are signals that should never be ignored. What can you do? First, keep up with screenings that are still suitable for your age and health. Even a simple stool test or imaging scan can reveal hidden problems early. Second, take lifestyle seriously. If you smoke, quitting even now lowers your risk. If you drink, keep it moderate. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and lean protein supports your body's defenses, while limiting processed and fried foods eases the strain on your system. And finally, listen closely to your body. A stubborn cough, a mole that changes shape, or any new symptom deserves attention. A quick doctor's visit could save years of independence and strength. Ask yourself honestly, do you brush aside small symptoms? Have you skipped screenings, thinking they don't matter anymore? At your age, facing these questions openly may be one of the most important steps you take. Cancer may remain a leading cause of death after 80, but many cases are manageable when detected early, and small, consistent habits can make a powerful difference in prevention. The goal is not just to live longer, but to live those extra years with energy and purpose. Number 4, respiratory disease and pneumonia. Breathing feels so natural that we often take it for granted. But after 80, respiratory disease becomes one of the most dangerous threats to life. Chronic conditions like emphysema and bronchitis, combined with weaker immune defenses, create the perfect conditions for infections like pneumonia. Imagine two women, Linda and Patricia, both 83 years old. Linda makes her breathing health a priority. She stays active, practices simple deep breathing exercises, and never skips her annual flu or pneumonia shot. She eats her meals sitting upright, protecting her lungs, and keeps her body flexible with gentle stretching. Patricia, on the other hand, often eats while reclining, struggles with swallowing problems, and delays vaccinations. When she developed a chest infection, it quickly turned into pneumonia, leaving her hospitalized and dependent on oxygen. This difference shows clearly why lung health cannot be taken lightly. After 80, every breath matters. As the chest muscles weaken and the body's ability to clear mucus declines, even a small infection can overwhelm the lungs. Conditions like swallowing problems, acid reflux, and dry mouth add to the danger, raising the risk of food or liquid entering the airway and causing aspiration pneumonia. Once infection sets in, recovery at this age becomes far more difficult, and many never regain their full strength. The science is simple: oxygen is the fuel for every cell in the body. When the lungs cannot deliver enough oxygen, other organs begin to fail very quickly. But here's the hopeful part: lung health can still be supported, even well into the 80s. Vaccinations against flu, pneumonia, and other respiratory infections remain one of the most powerful shields. Practicing good oral hygiene lowers bacteria that can slip into the lungs. Staying upright while eating, drinking plenty of water, and avoiding late-night heavy meals protect against aspiration. For those with chronic lung disease, learning proper inhaler use and keeping a simple breathing exercise routine can mean the difference between resilience and vulnerability. Ask yourself, do you often feel short of breath even when walking across the room? Do you wake up coughing at night, or struggle with swallowing? Have you kept up with your vaccinations? These are not small concerns. They are warnings that your lungs may need more care. Respiratory disease may be a leading cause of death after 80, but prevention and small daily choices can dramatically lower the risk. Keep your lungs moving, stay protected, and listen to your body's signals. Breathing well means living well, and protecting your lungs today could give you many more days of comfort, strength, and independence tomorrow. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do and turn on the bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Dementia-related complications. While dementia itself may not always be the direct cause of death, the complications that follow make it one of the leading reasons seniors over 80 pass away. Memory loss and confusion slowly strip away the ability to manage basic needs, leaving the body vulnerable to infections, malnutrition, and accidents. Consider Harold and Thomas, both 85 years old. Harold was diagnosed with dementia early, and with his family's support, he set up routines, prepared meals ahead, and kept up with regular hydration reminders. He stayed relatively stable, still enjoying time outdoors and maintaining enough independence to move safely. Thomas, however, ignored the early warning signs. As his memory declined, he forgot to eat or drink, left the stove on, and skipped his medications. Over time, weakness, infections, and weight loss took hold, eventually leading to an illness he could not recover from. The science behind this is sobering. The brain controls everything from swallowing to balance. When cognitive function weakens, the body's defenses begin to collapse. Difficulty swallowing increases the risk of aspiration pneumonia. Forgetting meals leads to dehydration and frailty. Reduced mobility raises the chance of bed sores and blood clots. Each complication pushes the body closer to decline. Yet there is hope. Even with dementia, small strategies can extend quality of life. Consistent daily routines reduce stress and confusion. Soft, nutrient-rich meals lower the risk of choking while keeping strength intact. Caregivers can encourage fluids at set times to prevent dehydration. Gentle physical activity, short walks or seated exercises, help circulation and balance. Early medical guidance and community support also make a tremendous difference. Ask yourself, have you or someone you love noticed increasing forgetfulness, difficulty swallowing, or unexplained weight loss? Do you dismiss these as just old age? Recognizing these signs early can completely change the years ahead. Dementia-related complications remind us that health is more than physical, it's deeply tied to mind and memory. By acknowledging the risks and making steady adjustments, seniors and their families can reduce suffering and preserve dignity. Protecting the brain means protecting the whole person. Even late in life, steps can be taken to hold on to independence and connection for as long as possible. Number 6. Falls and hip fractures. One of the most underestimated causes of death after 80 is not an illness at all, but a fall. A simple slip in the bathroom or a stumble on the stairs can lead to a hip fracture, which often sets off a cascade of complications. And for many seniors, a single fall begins a rapid decline. Take the example of Ruth and Elaine, both 82 years old. Ruth practices balance exercises every day, wears supportive shoes, and has arranged her home to avoid tripping hazards. She feels steady when she walks, and even when she stumbles, she recovers quickly. Elaine, however, has weaker legs, takes several medications that make her dizzy, and keeps clutter around her home. One night, she trips over a rug and breaks her hip. Surgery follows, but her recovery is slow, and she never regains the independence she once had. Within a year, other health issues pile up, and her quality of life declines sharply. The science is clear: as bones lose density and muscles weaken, the body's ability to bounce back from a fracture diminishes. A hip fracture is not just about pain, it often leads to long hospital stays, infections, blood clots, and permanent loss of mobility. This downward spiral dramatically raises the risk of death. But here's the encouraging truth: many falls are preventable. Risks often hide in plain sight: loose rugs, poor lighting, or medications that affect balance. The good news is you can take meaningful steps today. Simple balance and strength exercises, even something as easy as standing on one foot for a few seconds daily, build stability. Clearing clutter, securing rugs, and adding grab bars in the bathroom make your environment safer. Reviewing medications with your doctor can identify those that cause dizziness. Adequate protein and vitamin D support bone health, while proper footwear with good traction helps prevent slips. Ask yourself, do you sometimes feel unsteady when you turn quickly? Have you had a close call where you almost fell? Are there areas in your home that feel unsafe? Facing these questions honestly could save your independence. Falls and hip fractures may claim many lives after 80, but they don't have to claim yours. Protecting your balance, strengthening your body, and making your home safer are powerful steps that keep you standing tall. Independence is built on mobility, and by taking precautions now, you extend both your strength and your life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a future video. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now, let's move forward. Number 7, stroke. Another major cause of death after 80 is stroke, and it can strike with little warning. A stroke happens when blood flow to the brain is suddenly blocked, or when a weakened blood vessel bursts, leaving permanent damage. At this age, the risks are higher because conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and irregular heart rhythms become more common, and more dangerous. Picture two women, Alice and Dorothy, both 84 years old. Alice visits her doctor regularly, keeps her blood pressure stable, and takes medication to control her irregular heartbeat. She stays active, practices balance exercises, and eats foods that support healthy circulation. Dorothy, on the other hand, often forgets her prescriptions and brushes off frequent headaches and dizziness. One afternoon, she suddenly struggles to speak and feels weakness on one side of her body. By the time she reaches the hospital, the damage is already done, leaving her dependent on others for daily care. This difference shows why stroke is so deadly, but also so preventable. The brain relies on a constant flow of oxygen-rich blood. When that supply is interrupted, even for minutes, brain cells begin to die. This can lead to paralysis, memory loss, or death. The danger is made worse because early signs are often ignored or mistaken for minor issues until it is too late. If you notice sudden numbness in the face, weakness in the arm, or slurred speech, these are not small lapses. They are urgent alarms. Doctors remind us to remember the word fast, face drooping, arm weakness, speech trouble, time to call for help. Here's the good news: just like with heart disease, powerful steps can reduce stroke risk. Keeping blood pressure in a healthy range is the most important. Monitoring your heart rhythm and treating atrial fibrillation with medication prevents dangerous clots. Staying active with daily movement, even gentle walks or light stretching, keeps circulation strong. And choosing foods wisely, such as lowering salt and focusing on fresh, whole meals, helps keep blood vessels flexible and blood flowing freely. Ask yourself, do you often feel dizzy, have unexplained headaches, or notice weakness in your grip or step? Have you been neglecting your blood pressure checks or skipping doctor visits? These may seem small, but they are warning signs your brain should never be ignored. Your blood pressure checks, or avoiding medical advice about heart rhythm problems, these questions are not here to frighten you. They are reminders that prevention is always possible, no matter your age. A stroke can strike in an instant and change life completely. But paying attention to these risks today could save you from a future of dependence or worse. Number 8. Frailty syndrome. Frailty is one of the quietest yet most powerful causes of decline after 80. It isn't a single disease. Instead, it's a state where the body becomes so weak that even small stresses, a mild infection or a short hospital stay, can trigger a rapid downward spiral. Think about two women, Helen and Martha, both 83. Helen eats balanced meals with enough protein, takes gentle walks with her neighbor, and keeps small hand weights by her chair. She may move slowly, but she still has the muscle and energy to recover when life challenges her. Martha, in contrast, has lost interest in food, often skips meals, and spends most of her day sitting. Her muscles shrink, her weight drops, her stamina fades. When she catches a minor cold, her body doesn't have the reserves to fight back. What should have been a simple illness becomes life-threatening. The science is clear. Frailty develops when muscle mass, nutrition, and energy all decline together, leaving no cushion for recovery. Its signs are slow walking, unplanned weight loss, constant fatigue, and frequent illness. Sadly, frailty is often overlooked, mistaken as just old age, when in truth it's a dangerous warning. But here's the hopeful part: frailty is not inevitable. Even in your 80s, you can push back and rebuild strength. Start with protein at every meal. Eggs, beans, fish, all give your muscles the fuel they need. Gentle resistance exercises with small weights or resistance bands stimulate growth. Staying hydrated supports your energy and circulation. And even simple daily movements keep weakness away. Social connections matter too. Eating with others and staying engaged improves both appetite and activity. Ask yourself, have your clothes started fitting looser without trying? Do small tasks leave you unusually tired? Do you find it harder to get out of a chair? These aren't just old age, they may be signs of frailty that need attention. It's the body's way of warning that it cannot handle much more stress. The good news is, with daily effort you can strengthen your reserves and hold on to independence. Every healthy meal, every short walk, every small exercise is a step away from frailty, and a step toward a stronger tomorrow. Final thoughts. Now that we've explored these 8 causes, take a moment to reflect. After 80, most deaths can be traced back to heart disease, stroke, cancer, respiratory illness, dementia complications, falls, sepsis, and frailty. That may sound overwhelming, but here's the truth: most of these risks are not beyond your control. Your body is still giving you signals. The choices you make today, whether it's taking a walk, eating a protein-rich meal, or calling your doctor about new symptoms, can protect your future. So ask yourself, are you living with enough strength and confidence? Or are there small warning signs you've been ignoring? Remember, even small changes build lasting benefits. Keeping blood pressure steady, staying active, eating well, sleeping deeply, managing stress, and keeping close connections with loved ones, these are the real foundations of longevity. You are not powerless. You have far more influence than you think. Don't wait for a crisis to force change. Start today. Pay attention to your walking speed, test your grip, notice your sleep and appetite. These daily habits will carry you forward. Longevity is not a mystery. It's built through daily care, awareness, and determination. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments one thing you learned and how you'll use it in your life. Your thoughts encourage us to keep creating more helpful content. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support keeps us moving forward. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.